In the peaceful village of Vaidyagrama, surrounded by mountains and the soft hum of river waters, lived a young woman named Meera. She was known for her gentle spirit and quick mind, but over the past few months, a storm had begun to gather within her. Ever since her mother's passing, who was once the village healer, Meera felt lost and unsure. Every time she tried to carry forward her mother's work, mixing herbs, helping the sick, her thoughts would rise up against her. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Others are more skilled than me. Her mind had become her enemy. Fear, doubt, and the echo of past mistakes haunted her. Day by day, her confidence crumbled. She withdrew from the village, stopped attending gatherings, and spent long hours sitting silently by the riverside, staring at the flow of water, hoping it would wash her troubles away. One golden evening, as the sky turned saffron and the trees whispered in the soft wind, Meera crossed paths with an old sage near a temple. His eyes were calm, as if nothing in the world could disturb him. Seeing the storm in her face, he quietly said, "Child, why do you look like a warrior who's already lost before the battle?" Meera looked up and confessed, "My mind won't stop attacking me. I feel weak, confused, defeated." The sage continued, "I have seen that look before, the burden of thoughts heavier than any sword or shield. Would you allow an old man to share a story?" Without waiting for an answer, he settled down beside her and began. "Many years ago, in the southern kingdom of Varmanagara, there lived two young warriors, Veer and Arjun. Both were chosen to train under the royal war master. They were strong, fast, and eager to prove themselves. Arjun trained with passion. He lifted heavier weapons, fought harder, and boasted loudly of future victories. But he often let his anger control his hand, and his fears cloud his strategy. He fought with fire, but it burned him often. Veer, on the other hand, was different. Every morning, before lifting his sword, he sat in silence beneath a neem tree. He would close his eyes and breathe, sharpening not just his blade, but his thoughts. He knew that battles were not won by strength alone, but by stillness in the storm. When challenges came, Arjun reacted with frustration and haste. Veer responded with clarity and calm. He had trained not just his body, but his mind. One day, during a sudden ambush by enemy forces, both were caught off guard. Arjun panicked and swung wildly. Veer stood still for a moment, observed the enemy's pattern, and moved with purpose. He saved both their lives that day. After the battle, their master asked Veer, "How did you stay calm?" Veer replied, "Because I fight my first battle before sunrise, within my mind." But his training didn't stop there. Veer also began to write down every enemy that attacked him not from outside, but from within. He made a list: doubt, fear of failure, the voice that whispered, "I am not enough." He studied each one like a general studies his enemies. He said, "You cannot defeat what you do not recognize." He created mental drills as part of his daily life. At dawn, he set clear intentions, like a warrior sharpening his sword. At night, he reflected on his thoughts like a soldier debriefing after a mission. He repeated mantras to rewire his thinking. Simple words like, "I am steady, I am capable." He visualized success before it came, rehearsed battles in his mind long before they arrived. He trained his thoughts so thoroughly that even when arrows flew, his focus didn't waver. And just like a wise warrior keeps his weapons sharp, Veer kept his discipline. He woke early, delayed comfort, and followed a routine. When pain came, he didn't deny it. He breathed through it. When things were beyond his control, he remembered the principle of the ancients. Act on what you can, accept what you cannot. But there was one more lesson he learned: where you train matters. Veer surrounded himself with those who also trained their minds. He avoided noise, gossip, and distraction. He sat with monks, read old scrolls, and listened more than he spoke. Even the fiercest warrior needs a calm forest to sharpen his blade. Years later, when war truly broke out, Arjun and many others fell in the chaos. But Veer? He led an entire battalion with peace in his heart and clarity in his command. Not because he was the strongest, but because his thoughts were. The sage looked out at the river, his eyes reflecting its calm surface. "You see," he whispered, "the fiercest battle is not in the fields, but in the mind. Victory belongs to the one who has mastered the battlefield within." And from that evening on, Meera was no longer just a healer's daughter. She became a quiet warrior, Her sword was her intention, her shield was her focus, and her battlefield was her mind. And slowly, with practice, she won. Before you can heal others, build, create, or lead, you must learn to lead your own thoughts. The world outside is shaped by what lives within you. Those who train their minds like warriors rise above doubt, fear, and distraction. The strongest minds are not born. They are forged in daily silence and effort. Are your thoughts guiding you or fighting against you? Begin today. Wake with purpose. Reflect with honesty. Speak to yourself like a leader, not a critic. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more timeless tales. And remember, the most powerful warrior is the one who conquers their own mind.